Okay, hi everyone, it's AC here, and welcome to another week of Honey Homeboys. One of the last ones for 2023. And
Yes.
for our guest this week is our great friend Jeff Riley.
Yes, yeah. So this is a great way to end off the year 2023, and then we'll have a couple more booked for 2024. But first off, Jeff, introduce yourself to everyone watching.
Yes, my name is Jeff Riley. I'm from Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yep, that's short and brief. We'll get more into Jeff's story, some of his interests, and more. And if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments below. AC, do you have what's your first question,
Okay,
Mr. Jeff?
so when did you become a Christian?
Well, when I became a Christian, I thought it was when I was 17 years old. But I became a Christian, got saved, I think it was January the 17th of 2022.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, when you were in hospital at that time.
Yes, I was in the hospital for COVID pneumonia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got put on a ventilator, COVID pneumonia, 0% chance of living. Got to see a lot of things in my coma.
Yeah.
My coma that I was in was, my testimony with that is very powerful.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll get into it more, I'm sure, in the interview, but just the whole story and how everything happened is just something that you won't forget. One of the most powerful testimonies I've ever heard. But we'll get more into that later on in the interview. We got several more questions for him. My next one for him is, so how does a failure set you up for later success in life?
Well, success for me was, I had a really good job. I was younger. It was probably about 2008. I was there like 5 years. I didn't take the job as serious as I probably should have. They come through and had a big layoff, and when they did, I was one of them. Then I come out and end up being a business owner. And so through that, it really helped me mature to be a better man, better employee, and taught me that there was things that was more important in life than what I was doing at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good one. So, what would you say is one of the most worthwhile or the best investment you've ever made in your life? And it could be money or time or whatever comes to mind.
I would say the best on that question there was my dad come down with pancreatic cancer, and my mother asked me to move back in with him to help take care of him. And through that time, I got to spend a lot of time with both of my parents, but I got to have a lot of great conversations with my dad before, he went to where he wasn't talkative, he couldn't talk, and so I really will always cherish those last conversations that I got to have with my father.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure, he was a great man, Jeff.
Yes, he was.
So, in the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life?
Well, I'm gonna take that back probably just a little further, if that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back, let's say 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I'll break it down from there. 12 years ago, like I said about my dad, he passed away, and that was very hard, and very tough, because like they say, every boy needs their dad.
Yes.
And there I was in a state of my life to where, my dad was a hard man. He worked hard, but he was, growing up, he was hard on us too, But when I got older and he come down with the cancer, and then and passed away, then it wasn't just a short 23 months later. My mother passed away unexpectedly, and and through that, it's really funny how life is, because I was told for 15 years there that I'd never be able to have a kid.
Yep.
You know, and then first Nate come along.
Yes.
You know, and then my dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and everything, and so through that, after my dad passed and my mom passed, I went back to my old ways of wanting to, instead of listening to friends and family about drawing closer to the Lord, I drew closer to alcohol. I was drinking a lot and trying to be the best dad that I could be. You know, Nate changed my life. He's one of the biggest blessings that I could that I could ever ask for. You know,
Yeah.
But with losing my parents right there back to back so quick, you know, having a young child, you know, Nate was 3 years old when my mother passed, and I'm like, I'm standing there in total shock because I'm like, how am I going to survive without having my parents?
Yeah.
You know, because my mom and dad always had my siblings' sons or daughters with her. They always had their grandkids. And I'm like, man, how am I going to survive without my mom and dad, or at least my mom, to help me with Nate, you know? Because I knew I was going to have bumps in the road.
Yeah.
You know, but I had great support. You know, my sisters and brother was great support for Nate and myself, and you know, because they knew how hard it was for me to try to take this on, take him on, and then, you know, and go from there. So, but, you know, with all that being said, you know, and through this time, I was visiting, you know, I was going bar hopping and plus trying to visit churches too.
Yeah.
You know, I was living on both sides
Yeah.
of the fence and couldn't make a decision on which route I was wanting to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we kind of answered this earlier. So when did you start having a relationship with Jesus Christ? I know you've have some bad habits over the years about.
Yeah, you know, I used to have a bad side.
Yeah.
You know, I'd done some things illegally with some drugs, and then and everything, and that was back in my younger days. But I was always a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
You know, I was playing softball. I was traveling a bunch and with a lot of older men, and here I was a young guy, and we'd go to bars and all that, and then throughout the years of doing that, I would go to church, but you know, at 17, I'm kind of chasing around here, but at 17, I thought I got saved.
Yes, sir.
You know, and but through that, there was bumps in the road, relationships, you know, and past marriage and this, and it just never like I had ever a sense of peace.
Yeah.
So, in 2021, I come down with COVID pneumonia.
It was the end of 2021 going to 2022.
Right.
Yeah.
It was December the 30th.
Okay.
Whenever I was at Tiffany, I was at our wedding rehearsal.
Oh yeah.
And I collapsed.
Yeah.
A couple times, and I flatlined in the ambulance. So they get me to the hospital and told me that I had COVID pneumonia. They kept me overnight, sent me home the next afternoon around 1:30. And it was Monday morning around 1:30, 2 o'clock, I woke Tiffany up. And that's when she had to rush me back to the hospital. Then through all that, they told us that both lungs were full of COVID pneumonia, and that they were going to have to put me on the vent.
Yeah.
And they said with that they were giving me 0% chance of living.
Yeah.
And so I was on a ventilator, and while I was on the vent in my coma, I got to see my mom and dad. There was a little sister before me that I never met. I got to see her. She was a little angel.
Yeah.
I saw her at the foot of my bed. My mom and dad was at the foot of my bed, and I saw all three of them.
Yep.
I had a gentleman that kept approaching me and talking to me, and I thought he was Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
who he looked like, you know.
Yeah.
And because I've always really liked the movie A Sling Blade,
Mm-hmm.
you
Okay.
know. And
Yeah.
so I was always talking about Billy Bob Thornton, and I saw him like 5 times. And every time I saw him, he would come in and put his hand on my chest and tell me that I was going to be okay. And so that happened. And then all of a sudden, I was just like in a dark, dark place. Then I heard somebody say my name, and I turned to the right, and it was a lit up tunnel. And all of a sudden, the clouds were going by. Then the clouds kept going by. Next thing I heard, Jeff Riley. And then I looked back over there down that hallway again, and the clouds parted, and it was the Lord standing there in the clouds. And he said, Jeff Riley, to see me, you have to choose me. And I'm like, wow, I thought I did at 17. And that's when he come out and he told me, he said, Jeff, if you die today, you're going to hell because you're in hell right now. And so that happened. I saw him a couple different times. He talked to me a couple different times. And then all of a sudden, this gentleman come down the hallway again, and he touched me on my chest, and he told me I was going to be okay, that I was going to be waking up soon. And all of a sudden, I looked, he turned, he walked back down the tunnel, and then my mom and dad appeared again, and my little sister, and next thing you know, I'm awake.
Yeah.
And so they said that I was not going to survive.
Yeah.
So it was about 36 hours, I think it was, or 42 hours later, I was sitting and talking to Donna, my mother-in-law.
Don, yes.
And we were talking. I was sharing what I saw in my coma and everything that was happening. And she said, Jeff, I thought you were saved. And, you know, my voice wasn't very good. I couldn't hardly talk. And I told her, I said, Donna, I did too. I said, but the Lord showed me in my coma that if I would have died, I would have went straight to hell. And that's when she asked me, she said, what do we need to do? And I said, we need to get this fixed. And so she called Pastor Brian Phelps on her iPad, and laying right there in my bed in CCU, I prayed, and that's where I gave my heart to the Lord. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that it's as real today as it has ever had been.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with that being said, you know, I'm going to make mistakes. There's going to be bumps in the road because the devil will always come at you. But I do know that I'm saved. My heart is pure, and I know he's in my heart. I feel him. I talk with him, and just when I was able to get baptized, it was, you know, I've been that way. I've been baptized before, but there was no feeling the day that I got baptized this time, and the same feeling with when I got saved. I knew that it was a totally different feeling.
Yeah.
So I know that was a lot right there, but to get to the salvation part, but it was like January 14th or 15th in my hospital bed when I got saved.
Yeah.
So
Great story, Jeff.
thank you.
All right, my next question to you is, what fact about you would surprise many of your acquaintances?
Let's see. I would say, you talking about facts?
What's something about you that would surprise many of your acquaintances?
For one, I would say that I'm actually doing a live video right now. That's something I normally probably wouldn't do. And it's not that I don't mind talking, because I'm a talker.
Yeah.
But I don't want someone to think that I'm doing this to get attention, because I'm not. I'm doing this because if someone out there is hearing my story, and if they're on the fence, about becoming a Christian, that my story will help them make their decision, because my story is about me, but the fact of my story is it's about what the Lord done in me to give me the second chance of life to get my life right and back on track.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how you want, what kind of answer you wanted there, but
No, it's okay, Jeff.
okay.
Yeah. So what other sports did you do besides baseball?
I played baseball and played some football. We'd always go and play some pickup basketball and stuff like that. I loved playing about any kind of sport that was out there that I could play.
Who would you say your favorite baseball player of all time is?
Of all times, wow. Favorite all-time baseball player. That's a good one. I'm going to say, I would say that I was really a big fan of Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire back when they were the Bash Brothers at Oakland. Because I was a diehard Oakland A's fan back in the day. Now football would have been Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. Back in the 49ers time.
Yeah.
So, but that's who I would say for baseball and football.
Yeah.
Now basketball, you got to go with Michael Jordan.
Is he your favorite?
Michael Jordan is best of the best.
Is he your favorite?
Yeah, he's my favorite.
And best, okay.
Yeah. Michael Jordan.
Yeah. So what made you decide to play baseball?
What made me decide to play?
Yes.
I enjoyed playing baseball, and it was in my family. My brother played, my dad's dad played. I got big into playing softball after I graduated high school.
Oh wow, man.
I played for. We played a lot of tournaments all over. I played for Louisville Slugger. Got to fly, all the country playing. So that was a lot of fun. And in that time, that's when there was a lot of partying going on. And the people I was playing with, they really wasn't worried about the ministry. They was worried about the good times, So.
Okay, so we got a couple comments from Trad York on Facebook. He said, "Tell Lumpy I said hello." That was the first one.
Hi, Trad.
And then he had a question. He said, "Who can hit a softball further, me or Jeff?"
I'd probably have to say, Trad, I got you on that one. You might be able to preach a better message, but I can probably hit a farther softball.
I want to see that happen. I probably agree with you, though. Probably right.
Trad and I go way back.
Yeah.
Like in the late 70s, early 80s.
Way back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah. He's like 5 years older than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always run around with guys older than me.
Yeah.
My next question is, you said your favorite baseball player, but who's the greatest baseball player?
Oh, the greatest?
Yes.
Of all time?
Yep.
Man, I'd probably have to go. I'd have to probably go with. I like old Hank Aaron. Him and the great Bambino.
Yep.
So, that's who I'd go with.
Yeah.
Good choices. your next question?
Oh yes. So how long have you known Tiffany for?
Well, Tiffany, I've known Tiffany for a long time, actually. I guess I met Tiffany probably, I don't know, probably about 18 years ago, I would say, 17, 18 years ago.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, she didn't remember me because she's younger. You
Yeah,
know,
like, obviously 10 years younger.
Yeah, and but I've known Murray.
Murray.
I knew Murray he knew me before I knew him because they knew my family.
Yeah.
And everything. So, but you know, we connected. If I'm not mistaken, it was 4 years ago. This past September.
Okay.
Unexpectedly, you know, and that whole story there is, you know, is pretty wild because of we were at Touchdown and Tunes.
Yeah.
And that's where I bumped into her. I knew her, but she really didn't know who I was.
Yeah. What year was this? Like touchdown to
2019.
Yeah, I'd say about 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, September, I believe it was.
Okay.
2019.
Yeah. 4 years ago. That's
Yeah.
good.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next question is, who's your favorite baseball team?
Favorite baseball team? Well, I'm going to say, being I was a diehard Oakland A's, but I'm going to have to go with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay, good.
Yeah, great team.
A lot of people on the live stream will probably be happy with your answer.
They're gonna love you for
We
it.
might
man.
get some Cubs fans in the comments or other
Yeah.
teams in the comments.
Just deal with it.
Yeah, you know, Cub fans, they always got to have something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of jealousy there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. So if you have any questions for Jeff Riley, leave them in the comment section below, and we will answer them. But my next question for Jeff is: so, what is your greatest memory as a player?
Greatest memory as a player. Greatest memory as a player. I'd probably have to say that it was when I was actually playing softball. We were playing in Louisville, and was playing in a big, massive tournament, and we was not picked to win the tournament, and we were having a battle in the championship game, and one of my dearest friends that was playing come up. His name's Billy, and he got a nice hit to right field, and then and I come up behind him and hit a home run to put us up.
Yeah.
And then we come in to play defense, and Billy was an outfielder and made a spectacular catch,
Yeah.
and we won the big state tournament.
Yeah.
And that was, I would say, between my home run, his big hit, and his big catch, would probably be my greatest moments.
Mm-hmm. Good ones right there. So, what would you say your favorite moment as a coach is?
Favorite moment as a coach? Well, for one, you know, getting to coach your own son, you know, that's a great moment. You know, to get to see him develop from when I first started coaching him at like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, whatever it was there, up to now, and just to see him grow as from a kid to turning into a young man. He's going to be 14 here in the next 8 days.
Wow.
And just watching his whole transition from not only being a good baseball player, but being a good Christian young man. You know, because I know he loves Jesus. I know that. I saw him. The greatest moment really was he was 9 years old, was in Jackson, Tennessee, and I was with him when he got saved. under the tree before we went to start our next game with all the teammates and
Yeah.
parents and all that. But that would be, not saying it just because it's my son, but
Right.
if it would have been a stranger's kid or somebody else, man, just getting to see that happen,
Yeah.
and know without a shadow of a doubt that,
Yeah.
he's truly saved.
Mhm.
That's a great, that's an amazing moment.
Yeah.
I have a good baseball team. I've got great kids, great families. I love them. I love all of my kids just like they're mine.
Yeah.
I put a lot of time and effort, and I try to make baseball. When we travel, I try to make it the best I can for the families and the kids.
Yeah.
So they can have the best experience. Because we don't have much longer left with this traveling ball, because they're all getting ready to enter into high school, and travel ball will be the thing of the past, and it's just going to be high school ball, and next thing you know, it's off to college.
Yep.
Yeah.
And time is going by quick.
Way too quick these
Yes,
days.
it is.
Yep. My next question for you is, so what would you say your favorite movie of all time is?
Oh, favorite movie. Well, I'm not a major movie junkie, but I'm going to have to say, like I said earlier, the movie Sling Blade.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I know it's not the cleanest movie.
Yeah.
I hadn't watched it in years, but just my thing is how he interacts with the little boy, and in that movie. But I'm gonna say my all-time favorite is probably Top Gun.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then Sling Blade would probably take the number 2 slot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Sling Blade's a good one.
yeah.
All right, AC, what's your next question?
Yeah. So when did you and Tiffany start dating?
Was it 2019?
Or-
September 2019.
Yeah, it was like the first or second week of October
Mm.
of
Okay.
2019.
Okay.
And y'all may know the story and you may not, but the night I ran into her at Touchdown and Tunes,
Yeah, obviously.
I was, I asked her would she like to go to dinner sometime because I'd sit down and like to talk to her about her dad, and nah, she didn't want to go. So it took her a week of finding out about me, seeing who I was, so she could ask some family and some friends about me to get their approval. Some of her family approved, some of her family didn't, and that's okay.
That's how it is.
So we started dating. I guess, like I said, it's probably about the first or second week of October
Okay.
of 19.
Okay.
So, and then it was December of 2020 is when I asked her to marry me, I believe it was.
Oh yeah.
So, and I had to beg her to say yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I have another question. Another question is, so what would be some advice to parents or anyone in general who wants to become a coach in any sport? What's something you want to tell them?
If a parent wants to become a coach or a kid, if they're young, allow them to have fun. Don't be hard on them. And I tell people this, that I'm very competitive, and when Nate was younger, first starting out, I was very competitive,
Yeah.
even with his age, and I was hard on him. But what I would say is, don't be hard on him. Let them enjoy playing whatever sport it is. Let them figure out what they want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because by the time they're in high school, they may decide they don't want to play baseball and basketball. Football may be their sport.
Yeah.
and parents that are coaches, that's not easy. You know, a stranger can come in and coach a kid and coach them however they want to, but when it's a parent coaching them, it's totally different. It's a lot harder because if you got 3 or 4 coaches and the kids are on the team, it turns out to be daddy baseball or daddy softball, you know, and the kids on the team, that's the sons or the daughters of the parent that's coaching, them kids they catch all the flack from the other kids making mistakes because coaches don't want to get onto them because they don't want to make parents mad. So what they do is they get on to little Johnny, you know, and little Johnny's not doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know, but little Stevie is.
Yeah.
But little Johnny's my son, so I'm gonna get on to him.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would say. Allow them to have fun, enjoy every minute of it. If you got a young kid that's about to start whatever sport, just allow them to have fun with them.
Yeah.
I wish there were some things I could change.
Yeah.
But I can't. Only thing I can do is strive to do better.
Yeah.
And try to do better, not just as a coach, but as a dad, as a husband, as a friend, a Christian first. So, because we are all going to fall short every day.
My next question is, so what is your favorite restaurant in Paducah?
Favorite restaurant in Paducah. Now, you're going to start talking about food,
Yes.
and you're going to get me hungry.
That's right.
Maybe
Jeff.
get some food afterwards if you're
There
hungry.
you go. You know, I'm going to say that, you know, I'm a steak, chicken, mashed potato kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got the perfect build for mashed potatoes.
Absolutely.
You know, and some fried chicken.
Absolutely.
But my favorite, and I always enjoyed eating Chong's on Jackson Street.
Me too.
Yes.
I was just still there's like you and I could share a buffet. We
Yeah.
have all to ourselves.
That's right. So, you know, my all-time favorites, because I got a lot of great memories of the old Chong's when it was a house that was there. Then they took, y'all don't know this because you wasn't probably old enough,
Yeah.
but that used to be a house there. Then they tore the house down and built the building,
Wow.
you know, and there's a lot of memory there because I was at the old house, able to eat there. Then knew the construction company that tore it down and built the new building, you know. So I have memories of all that whole location. So I'm going to have to say my all-time favorite was Chong's on Jackson Street.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is be my final question, unless we get something else from the live audience. But what's something you want to mention in this interview right here before we sign off? Is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, I got a little note here.
We have a lot of time, Jeff.
You got a lot of time?
You have plenty of them.
Got plenty of time. Okay. You know, my thing that I want to leave with is we as Christians need to love people better. You know, no matter what the situation is, you know, because one of these days, like I say, we need to love each other better the way God loves. Okay, He forgives us. You know, we can ask for forgiveness, and He forgives. You know, if you step on somebody's toes with something, they get mad.
Yeah.
They won't forgive you. You know, life is short.
Yeah.
You know, so my 2024 resolution is to love people better. I'm a giving person. I will help anybody I can, but we as Christians need to step out of the box and really show our love and really try to, you know, if you can win one person over in the year 2024, you know, you take that number and look how many people that come to our church. If one person, you know, you take all those people and we can get one person for each member, you know, outside that church saved, think about how many people that is that comes to know the Lord.
Yes.
You know, and families. You know, I come from a big family. You know, and here it is Christmas time. You know, and there's families that are frustrated with one another. There's a lot of tension. There's things going on to where families are hurting. And it's because the devil is at work.
Yep.
The devil doesn't want to see a house full of people happy and sharing the word about the Lord or showing love to one another. You know, because if there's love there, the devil is going to try to do anything he can to train wreck that love circle.
Yep.
We get caught up in the holiday of, you know, buying gifts and this and that. We really need to get back to the old days of, you know, your family sitting at the table together, having lunch or having dinner, and are scattered out all throughout the living room.
Yeah.
And having family time on the holiday, and not be so worried about how much we can afford to spend or what we can buy. You know, giving somebody your love and caring and helping them in a situation, that is way more important than someone coming in and saying, Jeff, I bought you a gift, and hand it to me, and it's a new pair of shoes. You know? So I hope and pray that that this Christmas, if people or families are having problems, that if they don't get to be together this Christmas, that their New Year's resolution is to fix whatever's broken. Because it's not good when there is a family ordeal going on, and then all of a sudden you have a death or something like that to happen. You don't want it to have to take that to rebuild your family. You know, we as adults, as humans, we need to get over our pride and move everything out and just let the Lord do in us what he wants to do, because he can fix all things.
Yep. Yep.
All right, AC, you want to do the outro real quick?
Okay, so thank you for enjoying the video, everybody. Keep going, growing. Happy wiggling. Bye-bye.